on the sticks. We got games coming on today and tomorrow, so make sure you watch out for that. But this is a big day for us here. We got to go into the state of address for the USFA and the CSFA. Of course, I'm here with my admin counterparts, KC Colby and Top Dog Caboose. Say what's up to your peoples.
How's it going, everyone? I am alive, surprisingly.
Yeah, sorry we're about a month late on this.
Yeah, Caboose, you was kind of scaring me. I was like, where's my boy at?
I couldn't help it. The computer died. Everything and everyone was dying, and yeah. So, not a lot I could do, unfortunately. When life happens, life happens. Just got to roll with the punches there.
Hell yeah, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. Just happy you're still here with us. We still got to keep it rolling. Happy to be here once again on Twitch. We're keeping it moving. Finally made it to the Twitch affiliate side of things. That's a big step with our development. Get out to some more people, show some love. And yeah, we doing the damn thing. But hey, we can go ahead and get started, man. I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of things going on here this past cycle, a couple months, and somewhere on my pages of notes, there it is, I have a whole bunch of stuff that we talked about, and I'm still missing one or two small things, but I know Casey Colby has them written down for me. Just a couple minor topics. Some of you may have seen that we lost, or not really lost, but dropped the lovely Casey from our Twitch affiliates. There was a conflict of interest in regards to our no politics policy and what she was trying to promote, so that ended. There has been a lot of talk about our baseball and basketball leagues. Basketball is way in the backseat. It's not happening for a long time, so don't get too antsy about that. But baseball, unfortunately, with the loss of our simmer for that, we don't have a simmer, and without a simmer, we can't really move forward. So it has been put on a hiatus until we get someone who is willing to come out and sim for us. We really don't want to draw too much from our current workforce, just because if we do that, then we're stretching ourselves thinner. Geez Louise, I can't speak. Thinner than we already are here. So we want to make sure that we're growing healthy here first before we really start bombarding the baseball league with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, if you would like to sim, that is not to say you cannot. Just reach out to one of us, and we will. We'll see what we can do for you. And you guys got stuff to say on baseball, basketball?
I don't even know if basketball would be the next one after baseball.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love for it to be, just not feasible. I did get a little bit of breakthrough with 2K. Doing it on PC is a lot easier to do it than on console, I'll say that much. But it's still difficult as hell regardless. So that's not going to be feasible. There aren't really any other games that meet our criteria like we'd like to. So right now, football is the move by the sounds of it because that's pretty much all we have like completely set up for and everything like that. So we'll keep you updated as we make more changes, more games come out, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's just going to be football's the focus right now until we get something rolling back with the baseball again.
Absolutely. A couple other small things to address here. June 14th was the league's anniversary, 1 year anniversary. And unfortunately, during that time, I was out of commission. Dax was busy. Colby, I believe, was moving. So,
Also, I just didn't know if we were going to do anything.
yeah. Um, there was a plan to do some stuff, but well, as unfortunately mentioned earlier, life happened and those things fell through. So instead, what we're going to do is we are going to, I believe we said we were going to give out TPE. Um, so everyone, this will be a claimable. You may claim, what was it 10?
Yeah, that sounds
believe
right.
I believe we settled on 10 TPE. You may claim this as uncapped in your team's um, point task submission sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 uncapped TPE in celebration of the year anniversary of United Sim Football. It's been a pleasure the whole year.
And just put
Ups and
anniversary
downs.
instead where it asks for a link, just put anniversary.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, this will be claimable for the rest of this week and next week since we're kind of putting this out on short notice this week. So if you don't get to it this week, you got all next week to get to it, and then the offer will expire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then finally, I believe there is the matter of the Stanley Cup Playoffs, and we do have a winner. Only one person out of the, I think, 12 that submitted sheets actually got the Stanley Cup champion right.
It was
And
Stacks. Woo!
it was not Stacks.
Damn it.
Stacks was like dead last.
Yeah, expected.
Um,
Expected. I know nothing of baseball. I mean, of hockey, so yeah, couldn't happen.
So, no, the winner of this year's NHL Playoffs giveaway is Hate Radar. Um, Congratulations, you have won 10 TPE. I know his players are on a team. Let me just pull
His
them up.
his offensive player is on Lake Geneva. His defensive player is on Central Houston Polytechnic.
Yes, that is the McGowans.
Mm-hmm.
So, congrats to him. 10 TPE to you. Claim that under uncapped Stanley Cup giveaway.
And both his
For
players are
the
balling too. Both his players are
Mhm.
balling too. His offensive one's ridiculous on the receiver end. His linebacker, I think, is leading all players in sacks. Like he's doing the damn thing.
He's doing well. So, and it's going to get him closer to his graduation cap, I believe. But
Mm-hmm.
that should be it for the minor things. We do have some big changes that we made. We allow me to go back into the change log here. For those who didn't notice, there were some recent changes to the rule book, and we're going to go over those right now. All right, so we have changed carryover. Carryover without the improved carryover mechanic from the player store, which is purchasable per player. It is being reduced from 8% to 7%. We have clarified the verbiage in the carryover sections 2.1.3 and 2.1.4. And then we have also raised the improved carryover price from 10 to $12 million. If you have already purchased improved carryover at 10 mil, it will not go up for you. Your transaction will stay the same. You'll be grandfathered into this new rule. For everyone else, starting effective right now, all improved carryover purchases will be 12 million. The reason we did this is because right with the way we're doing carryover, it is being applied upon creation. And so what that means is you'll get your 100 starting, and then anything you earned from your last player would immediately get applied to your new created player. So you could start with a player at 299 TPE, which means you would need to earn 1,990 TPE with the improved carryover. Now, if you earn, say, 2,000 or anything above that, and you get 200 TPE, and it would put you above cap in the college system, your options are to apply up to 299 and lose everything else, or you can go straight into uncapping. So, for example, I've got a player that had 2,500 TPE. With the improved carryover, they get 250. That 250, after I create my new player, my recreate, would start with either 350 TPE if I took all of it, or I can take 199, bringing me up to 299, the cap, and I can forfeit the rest and have a longer career in college if I so chose.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm sure we'll get some questions on that, but if Stacks or Colby, if you have anything to say on that.
No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah, you covered it perfect. Couldn't say it better.
All right. And then the next change we made was to section 8.2, the salary scale. Now, the current salary scale that or at least the one we had, it wasn't impactful enough in the early stages. It was, especially with a lot of stagnant 300 TPE players, until those start hitting regression, those are very valuable. And so we wanted to basically reflect that value in the salary scale.
Also, we just had multiple GM users who weren't updating their players because good players were hurting the team from salary cap more than they were helping on the field. Montaigne was on pace to be 1/3 of the salary cap just by herself, and that's if paid the minimum. And things like that, just like you should want your player to improve. And so when we see that not happening, like that's generally a sign that something's not working right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna test this new contract scale out. From now we have it goes up a lot more rapidly. We start at 1.75 million for a 200 to 299 TPE player, and then it bumps to 3.25 million for 300 to 399, and then it keeps going up by about 1.25 to 1.5 every time, until we hit the 10 million that was our current cap at 1,000 plus. What this will do effectively is it will end up raising the salary cap because players are getting paid more. What that's going to look like, not sure yet, but there will be a salary cap bump for next season.
Yeah, a significant one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That is all for the actual changes that were made. Some things that we did talk about were the retirements that were currently in place, the auto retirements, and trying to at some point balance those out. We talked about our regression scale, making sure that it was going to work for the new extended seasons. We did some math on that. We think that what we currently have in place will suffice. We did talk about outside recruitment efforts. Now,
Oh, yeah.
this is something we all agreed on. It's not necessarily a change, but it is something that needs to happen. Um, we have kind of hit our peak for the word of mouth growth that we are going to see on Discord. So we're looking for alternative ways to grow our platform, um, Twitch, YouTube, etc., but possibly also Reddit recruitment runs. So if you're interested in kind of being a mouthpiece for us and getting our name out there to larger communities, please reach out. We would love to have you on board. You guys got something to say on that?
Nope.
I'm definitely up for trying new things to bring more people in. You guys are the reason we do what we do. So if you know some people, and just like I said with the word of mouth, if you know some people that would be interested, you got the ability to invite people too. And we still got that recruitment drive available. Get some TPE for you and your people. So why not?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we have an excellent pyramid scheme for our recruitment. So it definitely helps you a lot to bring people in, if you can bring people in. So, it's we have methods in place. If you don't know what we're talking about, feel free to ask. I'm sure someone will be able to help you, if not one of us. And then finally, we did discuss. This is actually a change, not really a rule book change, but it is a change. So with me and now Casey Colby taking over GM spots, that is basically a third of the GMs that are being controlled by admins. And it's not something we really like, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We have thrown around some ideas on how to get some more engagement and all that. And we actually want to hear from you guys. What would incentivize you more to GM or SA?
Yeah, or school admin. Yeah,
Um,
I'm kind of here too.
yeah, Stacks makes up 1/6 of our essays. It sounds like a big number until you realize there's only six teams. So these are things that we would like to rectify. We don't want us, because let's face it, we have probably the most experience with the game. And it just doesn't make for fair competition.
Yeah, the way Charlotte's been steamrolling people, it's really not fair.
It's really just not fair, you know?
Sorry.
I mean, let's okay, with what I got there, I'm making it dang close.
You're doing your best. I really can't knock it.
Mm-hmm.
Um so uh, we just don't want people going, oh well, they're the admins, of course they're gonna win because they're GMing and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. We really don't need that kind of look. Um and so one, if you would like to GM, please reach out. We would love to have you at least come interview for the position.
At the very least.
And bear in mind, like I definitely speaking for myself, and I'm sure for Caboose and Stacks as well. I would happily give advice to any GM.
Absolutely.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so don't feel like you're going to be without a safety net if you take over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll be a mentor to any GM, to include multiple. So maybe don't ask me for like game plan advice on how to beat your opponent next week, but just in general,
Mhm.
because I might have two GMs asking me that question.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'll happily help you with contract structures, trades, avoiding little pitfalls that a lot of new GMs fall into. Because I want to see good teams.
Mhm.
So
I think that's the goal, and then the day, and the same extent goes to me on the SA side. I feel like that's more my expertise over GM. Um, but all you gotta do is just ask questions. I might not answer right away. We all got lives outside of this and everything like that. We all got work, family, all the good stuff. Things gotta take care of. But I'm willing to take the time out of my business schedule to make sure you're in the best spot to be great, not just as a player, but running the teams as well. Because especially on the CSFA side with school admins, like you guys are the blood for real, for real. Especially when it comes to newer players that join the league.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just can't. I can't stress enough like how important this running a CSFA team is, and we're willing to do everything we can. So just stick out, ask questions, don't be scared, and like I said, we're willing to help out any way we can.
Yeah. Um. So, and then another thing that we decided on doing for this is because me and Kobe make up we make up a decent portion of the current GMs. We're going to give the current GMs that are not us a more or less a majority vote. If they, for any upcoming rule changes, so from here on out, anything that changes that would impact them, because we don't want that, oh, you're doing this to make yourselves better type of look, we're going to give them a vote. If they like the rule, they can they can all agree to it, or if they don't like the rule, they can get a majority vote to overturn it, and we will go back to the drawing board with it.
Mm-hmm. Do we talk about
So, and
like the
that's
players? Do we talk about like the?
Sega.
Do we talk about the players like what Turts and everybody was talking about, or did I completely miss it?
which
I,
thing are you
I
talking about? I'm sorry.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like
Kurtz
how
asked a lot of questions, so
Yeah, you talking about like he has your mom up top, but he also has an Amy in the CSFA, and
Yeah, no, not talking about that at all.
yeah, he was fine there. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
cool.
We're talking about upcoming any rule changes that come after this point.
Mm-hmm,
We're gonna kick it to the GMs and give them a vote, just to that way they know we're not doing it just to screw them over. Um, so and that'll be a thing until at least one of us gets replaced.
mm-hmm,
SAs, you don't have two of us in the SA ranks, so you're out of luck.
mm-hmm,
Um,
Plus, it's also worth noting that with SAs, um, CSFA, like sometimes changes have to be made more urgently due to recruitment and things like that.
yeah,
For example, the change that had to be made this year about roster sizes,
yep,
that was just due to an unexpected influx of people, had to be made on the fly. Obviously, that helps some teams more than others,
yep,
but that was just a reaction to something outside our control. So,
absolutely, and that will go back down to normal after this season.
yes.
mm-hmm.
Um, we also talked about league engagement. We do our best. I'm not gonna lie. If you want to see this league be more engaging, there is very little we can do as admins. Uh, Our recommendation to you, if you're one of the people asking us about getting more league engagement, be the change you want to see.
Huh. Couldn't say any better. Can't expect others to change if you don't do. And you got
Yep.
like because we're literally doing all we can, and
Yeah.
like we're running teams, we're running the games, we're running the inner portions of the league that you don't see, the things that you do see, the server, the
Yeah.
we just got people to run stats. Thank you, Parham and AW, by the way, for that.
Absolutely.
But that is a big change right there, and we're working on making that stat sheet a lot more accessible for you guys as well in the back end. But like there's work being done here, but we got almost 200 people in here. There's got to be some other help come through for us pretty soon.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Especially if you want to get to the ranks like other sim leagues out there, like the SFLs and the ECFLs, all of those guys and everything like that. It comes because people chip in. So that's all we gotta say on that.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to see this league be prosperous, help us out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got a lot of people that are helping us out, but we could always use more help. Oh, this is more than just a handful of people's production. This is a community effort.
Mm-hmm.
So, scratch our back. We'll continue to scratch yours.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
one other way you could help out too, we got the affiliate. You can subscribe now.
This is true.
If you got the time, if you got a little bit extra change to work with us, it'll help us get to our goal to make this the best league possible too. I'm not one to throw money out there like that. It ain't a money league, of course. All the work in regards to your updating and stuff comes to your work rate and your work rate alone. So, but this is just strictly for helping the league as a whole get to where it needs to be, and every bit counts. So,
Yep. Every time we get a little bit of cash flow, that means a little bit of cash flow goes to Stacks. And he's been asking me when he's getting paid like every week now.
I've been slowing down a little bit. I've been slowing down. I know you've been busy in that thing. I know it's all good. It's all
I've
love.
gone from every week to every day. It's slowed down, yeah.
maybe it's in my mind where I'm not saying it a lot. Outside of my mind, yeah, I probably said a little bit.
But and then that's all I've got on my list. We did go over the rule book, just the whole thing really quick, just to see if there were any other spots. We didn't see any when we looked over it, but we can always look over it again if there are spots you feel are confusing. I know there were one or two other things that we talked about, but I don't have them written down.
Mm-hmm.
You covered everything I had on my list, other than the questions in the chat.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, you hit one of them, the basketball league, baseball league, but I had one that was thrown my way, I know. And then there was one more for all of us that I figured you were saving to the end.
The questions?
The Hall of Fame was...
Okay. So, okay, we'll just kind of go through these.
So I want
to... Took that.
Yeah, like I said, the next one was just for me, about the league parity.
Gotcha. Go for it.
Or I shouldn't say just for me, but I was specifically called out. Because I had set a goal of no team having a plus or minus with an absolute value above 200. So no one more than plus 200, no one more than minus 200. Both are failing. Arizona is currently on pace for 202, which sounds like, close enough, but it's actually worse than it sounds because they still have 2 games left versus Charlotte. And the best answer I can give to that is, yeah, I underestimated Arizona. Like when we talked about the teams at the beginning of the season, like I want to say like right after the draft, we did one of these.
Mm-hmm.
I had Arizona as a playoff team, not the team. I actually thought STL was going to be the team to beat this year. I picked them to win it all post draft. And the best answer I've been able to give is I thought Sir Lancelot was much lower TPE than he was. I completely underestimated the impact he was going to have. And yeah. As for Charlotte, I mean, theirs is a little worse. So bear in mind, though, also, I want to point out that last year, HBV finished with a plus 354. And like I said, right now, Arizona's on place for 202. I think we can all agree they're going to be lower than the 354. It's still going to be better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For Charlotte, the worst team last year was Oklahoma City with a negative 377. Now, this one's going to be a little closer because Charlotte's on pace for 271.
Mm-hmm.
But bear in mind, they had no first or second round pick this year in a very deep draft. And they just didn't have, they have one active. So they were falling behind at a much faster rate than the rest of the league. Cap rules can only do so much on a situation like that. But the spiral did end. Like the separation has stopped going up and started going down. So
Mm-hmm.
I was a little more optimistic than I should have been, but I do still think the progress is very clear. Plus, I mean, just watching the games this year, tell me they haven't been more interesting.
They
I
are
mean,
definitely more interesting.
Charlotte just had a one possession game against the
St.
playoff
Louis.
team.
Yeah, St.
You
Louis.
know, yeah. I mean, that's currently a playoff team. So I definitely think it's getting better.
Mhm.
All right, that's all I got.
Got also give a shout out to the homies in Pittsburgh too. First time out the gate, they've been putting out some real good games. They've had some struggles, of course, being a new team and trying to figure everything out. But being three wins going into week 8 after this week. I mean, going into week 9 after this week. Honestly, it could have been a lot worse. I was expecting maybe around like 1 or 2, maybe they'll probably swing through, and they still have a chance to get some more wins before the season ends. To make it a little bit better, get closer to 500. Can't be too mad at. Can't be too mad at the progress from them, and they're only going to get better too. So, Charlotte, they still need some work, just like you said. That's going to come with more people coming up from the CSFA, and them actually having picks. And yeah, just like what Kobe said, is like there wasn't too much Cap could do in regards to that. Even getting pretty steady tight end, gonna need a lot more than that to make a true difference offensively. Defensively, honestly, has been surprising me outside of not having Preston. Especially in the last game too, they were doing pretty good outside of giving up some big plays. So yeah, I like the state of the league, and just like we're saying, it's only gonna get better from here with more actives, more activity. You guys helping some people come in and come up eventually.
Yeah. I guess then for the last question, really is Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And
I've got some brief notes by position.
yeah, I'm kind of looking them over right now.
You can just pull up the USFA career stats and go down the list. And we had a little bit of talking too, like certain players if they should make it. We could talk about those too. I know Lockett's been talked about, Markham's been talked about a little bit, but I don't think Markham's gonna make it. Me personally,
no chance.
No, I think of all the quarterbacks, it's just going to be Montaigne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree.
But it gets much closer with the next one.
Running backs?
Yep.
Yeah. Action Jackson's done well. Don't get me wrong. And I get just because I think he's had more seasons overall to acquire the stats.
The run game tends to be much more reliable in the first couple seasons of sim leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I think he benefited from that heavily, But
Yeah.
realistically, looking at career yards per carry, I expect Ulf will be ahead of him by the end of next year.
Probably.
And then from there, AJ's only going to keep going down, whereas Ulf hasn't stopped going up yet.
Yep.
I mean, and to be fair, Hawk isn't far behind. In
No,
fact,
no, and
he's
he's
had
only
an
in his first year.
absolutely wonderful rookie campaign so far.
Absolutely.
So I could see either of them being candidates in the future.
Yeah.
I can't see it for Action Jackson. I think he'll have some records that will never be touched, but they're always just going to be chalked up to, well, that was that time.
Yeah. And maybe he might get like a, a veteran class nomination at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the best season one running back. Boom.
No, that was not it. That was Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino,
No,
yeah.
no, I mean of all season one running backs, who had the best
yeah.
career? Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could see him maybe getting in eventually, but I don't think he would get in. Actually, he might get in for his class.
Mm-hmm.
I think the class is too small for that to.
True. We'll
Yeah.
have to see when we start doing that and who's in the pool at the time that we start doing it. But if we do it before, say, Ulf or Mike retire, he could get a nomination.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. So that's like if you look at pro sports, there's generally kind of a buffer, like 5 years before you can even go on the ballot. If we
Mhm.
do that, even then, I don't know if Ulf would be retired. But I do
Yeah.
think it would be far enough along to where Ulf would have beaten almost every career number.
Yeah.
Maybe not
I
total
think.
yardage again because of season two,
Hmm.
but I think the efficiency would be enough to where we'd be like, yeah, this is nothing really special.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I think he has he was in the right spot at the right time, so I think he could do it. But we'll have to see when it comes down to that time, what actually happens.
Okay. All right.
Wide
Wide
receiver?
receiver is fun
Your
Your
mom.
because so here's the thing. I don't know if your mom will. Because remember, we're talking about another season one player who isn't miles ahead. Because remember, Joseph Joseph is, I think, one season younger.
Yeah, but Joseph Joseph's retiring.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying if like in terms of demonstrating how easy your mom is to catch. Now to be fair, the kind of the opposite was true for wide receivers as it was for running backs. They took a couple seasons to start showing up. Passing was not great early on. Um, and your mom hasn't really started slowing down yet, in terms of compared to peers.
Okay. Yeah.
But honestly, the only like one I feel confident about right now is probably Sir Lancelot. Because your mom's earning just isn't there. And I
Mhm.
think once we see what Lancelot does as a top tier wide receiver, we're going to look at your mom and be like, yeah, that was just okay.
Yeah. And of course, this is all speculation.
Oh, of course, but I love that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Speculation is always fun.
Uh,
Any other noteworthy guys that could be on their way?
I mean, obviously, I'm confident Lee will make it just due to a busted system, but an insane earning. Also, speaking of insane earning, I just want to point out I would love to have more competition on the weekly pick'ems. I've won 3 of the 4 weeks, and I think we should all agree that that shouldn't be happening. So
No.
I'm not going to stop doing it, but I will encourage you guys to participate. There's free TPE to be had every week.
Yep. Stacks is not allowed to participate because he sims.
That
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep. Which is perfectly fine.
So now let's go over to tight end. And I think really the only one that currently stands out as a current candidate is Frederick Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, Vic's going to destroy all of those.
True. He probably will.
By the way, Frederick Kaiser will probably be available for teams next year.
Yep.
Probably.
He's going to make a team very, very happy.
Yeah. But I mean, Vic is already the number 6 tight end all time in receiving yards. Which, like, that's really bad.
Actually, might be higher than that after the last game,
that's
too.
really interesting because Krieg is on the list.
Yeah, he started out as a tight end in St. Louis. When your mom and Darren Eliason were, when Darren Eliason was active, he was the tight end. And he was beasting then, too. As you can see, he has pretty good stats there.
Yeah. But let's face it, by the end of his rookie year, he'll be ahead of Cherry, Krieg, and Baker. Possibly.
I should be Dracos. I should be Dracos.
Well, that's why I said possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, Kaiser, is he season 1?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I mean, yeah, right now, like, looking at how he compares to he's double the next closest.
Yeah.
And on tight end or on touchdowns, even more so. Again, Yak. Never mind. Actually, Lewis did a lot with Tacoma there. Yeah, I'd say he actually looks really decent. I'm just not expecting it to hold up.
Yeah.
Because next season he'll either be playing a much smaller role or possibly just be on a team that doesn't pass as much.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So now over to kickers.
Is there, okay, let's be fair. Is there anyone, like, let me just say, I hate the fact that STL still has their kicker named Joshua No, because it is a bot. It's not an actual person.
Well, Joshua No is the actual player, but yeah, you're right. But you're
not the current Joshua No.
Yeah, you're right.
That is a bot where they just didn't bother to change the name. And I know it wasn't done maliciously or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. It was only for this season, I believe, so we can always change the name.
Probably change his name.
Yeah, we can always change the name, and I could just go to the raw data, change it to the actual name, and then I'll just copy and paste it all the times I see it for this season, and then we straight. And that'll be right. Thank you once again, AW, for making the stat sheets again.
Personally, I'm thinking Felix Deschamps.
Yeah, there's not a ton of competition here right now.
No. Maybe Brent Skoma in a few seasons. If he continues. Or Galabosk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of them are active or not, but
I like Skoma coming up. Like, if he keeps on that path, he's going to be up there too.
Yeah. He's
doing well. Those are the main ones, though. Falco DeMecca obviously has a lot of work to do.
Not happening.
Yeah. Well, he's still got a very long career, so maybe.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I'm just saying, based on how we start off 0 for 9 on field goals, like,
tough. No, we don't talk about that.
Speaking of which, I still have to put the stats in for the USFA. I forgot to do that, but I'll do that today for Parm to put in. So we'll see these numbers go up a little bit later on today. Let's go to linebacker.
Now here is where one and only is gonna be happier. because I do actually like Dexter Jackson's career numbers.
He deserves it, man. He's been balling, and the crazy thing is, he's not like crazy updated TPE wise like that.
Yeah.
He leads all players in sacks and tackles for loss. Forced fumbles, obviously. Fumble recoveries there.
Not fumble recoveries.
second in fumble recoveries behind BBBT, his teammate. Interceptions could use some work, but he's up there in pass deflections. He clearly has the most defensive touchdowns out of every defensive player, regardless of position. I mean, you really can't ask for much. You really can't ask for much.
However, Arn is catching up fast.
He's burning. Yeah, he's definitely burning.
I mean, look at the difference in tackles. So Dexter Jackson has at this point 314 tackles, which is pretty good. But Arn is already at 236 in less than half the time. Now, to be fair, Arn hasn't really had to compete with teammates for tackles the way Jackson has, because as you pointed out, two of his three biggest threats are teammates. So there, that is a factor, and I do acknowledge it, but it does really hurt his case. Again, I think 5 seasons after he retires, we're gonna see people with better career numbers already.
Probably. But that doesn't make him any less a potential Hall of Fame candidate now.
At the moment, no. I unlike with action, I actually think he's got more staying power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would Preston fall under linebackers, or will he fall under safeties? Because he played most of his career as a linebacker. I'll say around 80 to 85% of his career has been linebacker up to this point.
He'd probably fall under linebacker.
Mm-hmm. He isn't nothing to shake at either. He ain't nothing to sleep on either, stat wise. Yeah. And he's pretty much been doing it for every team he's been on. He has 2+ sacks on every team he's been on. I think he leads all linebackers in interceptions. And in pass deflections as well. I like his career so far. He's been doing nice. I can't be mad at it.
No, nothing to be upset at all. Cornerback wise, Caitlin probably is my only pick.
Yeah, same here.
All right, great discussion on that. Safety, Bob McBob.
I don't know how he does it, man.
Deflections are just ridiculous.
I don't know how he does it.
Me neither.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know. It's crazy. And he's only going to get better, because his defense is so loaded.
I mean, again, you can argue that will actually hurt some numbers as well, but
yeah, you could say that. You could say that, but we've seen him on pretty solid defenses too, in his career, and he's been making his name throughout his whole career, from the beginning. Interceptions, pass deflections. He's a tackle machine from a strong safety spot, which is very hard in comparison to linebackers to get tackles from, even with their chance of getting passes and stuff like that too. He has to be in the perfect spot, and he just always finds his way to be around the ball.
Yeah. Don't know what it is, but he does.
Shout out to Cregan right there, and him and Tom Krieg.
Yeah. And I think that's all our questions.
We do corner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Caitlin
Caitlin.
Montaigne.
Yeah.
Elimination.
I completely missed it. My bad. Yeah. Definitely agreed there. But yeah, that's all. That's all we got, ain't it?
Yeah. And Turts, yes, the State of the League is coming back with my laptop being back now. So, but that's all we got for you this time. If you got questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to someone. If you want to jump in on one of the things that we talked about, please ask. We'll give you an interview for the position that you're looking for. You know, we'd like to grow, and we're happy to grow alongside you. So, thank you for your continued patience and support. And with that, I got nothing else to say.
Same here. Just want to say I love each and every one of you, man. Like y'all make this possible. If it ain't for y'all, we won't be here. And looking forward to many games and many seasons past this one. We'll do our best to get on time for the August state of address, assuming everything all works out and all the good stuff. And yeah, just want to say thanks again. We love you guys and gals that's been supporting us. Keep on doing it. We'll keep on grinding and make it this the best league of all time. And yeah, you got anything else for him, Kobe? You good?
I'm good.
If y'all good, I am good. Appreciate you guys again. We'll sign off here, and we'll be back on for our CSFA primetime game between East Augusta University and Mile High University. That's going to be a fun one. Thinking it's going to be a little early, but actually I take that back. Same time as normal. 8 o'clock is perfectly fine. If it's good with you, if you want to join in, that's good with y'all.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
That should be a good game.
Awesome.
I will be on the road driving.
Okay.
I don't get days off.
Imagine having days off. But no, like seriously, he'll be here in spirit. Me and Kobe will be on the sticks again, and we'll see you at 8 p.m. EST. So another 3 hours for the next one. We'll see you later. Stay safe and have a good rest of your weekend, guys. Take care.